Hello, everybody. Professor Barkle. This is my intercultural experience speech. Hope you guys enjoy. I grew up in Albany. I was born to a white mother and a black father. Albany is a very diverse city with many different cultures living in the same communities. As I grew up, I always pretty much felt either included or isolated based solely on my personality. I didn't see much of a separation between cultures because I mostly kept to myself outside of school. It was difficult for me to find my own identity and where I fit into society. My parents, in a way, work shifts. My mother would always be the one to drop me off at school and be with me home afterwards. My father, on the other hand, worked at night, and I would see him mostly on the weekends or at night as I grabbed a water bottle out of the fridge or something alike. With that said, I would say my parents had the classic providing father and nurturing mother dynamic. My maternal and paternal families are from different worlds. My mother grew up in a small town called Bloomville, New York, which is just outside of Hobart, New York, or Delhi, if that's more familiar to you. It's a very rural area with a very small community with little diversity. My father, on the other hand, grew up in Harlem, Manhattan. He was a big city kid with big city problems. Somehow their paths crossed in Albany, where it's a small blend of the two areas, complete with the conveniences of living in a city with just enough nature around and be able to enjoy some peace and quiet. My appearance as a biracial child, I would say, was a bit ambiguous. Because of this, I was able to blend in some areas and even disappear in others. Growing up, I was around kids of all different cultures. A lot of us children lived in the same neighborhoods with no more than a few blocks separating us. I felt like my friend group was pretty diverse. However, my friends didn't have much crossover with each other. I would just have different groups for different interests. For example, in school, my friends would be more involved in theater and robotics, while my friends outside of school were more into athletics. After high school, I attended Buffalo State College, where I boarded for a year and a half. Like many kids my age, this was my first time living on my own. Because I don't have siblings, which is a bit rarer, it was also my first time sharing a space with others. There were maybe about three people that I knew from Albany, but that didn't really matter because I rarely got a chance to see them. Most of the people that I was living with were either from New York City or Long Island if they weren't local. It was easier for me to make friends in college because they were the only people that were familiar to me. College forced me to come out of my shell more, and I found that I had more in common with people than I had thought. It also opened me up to a more in-depth look at different cultures. I was introduced to more music, foods, and even celebrations that I wasn't really aware of in Albany. Like Albany, there were clearly signs of diversity. On my dorm floor alone, we had representation from Hispanic communities, white communities, Black and Asian communities. However, to me, it didn't seem like the communities that everyone lived in at home were as blended as they were for me in Albany. Because of my ethnic background, I sort of found myself in an opposition where my two different cultures truly felt different. I didn't feel as comfortable as I once did growing up and felt more comfortable on one side than the other due to some inappropriate behaviors that became habitual. Along with that, I noticed that I was being judged more based off of my appearance or the appearances of the people that I would be around. College opened up my eyes more to how society would view me. What I've come to realize is that despite some cultural differences, my true friends accept me for me. Society, on the other hand, may judge me on my appearance. Ultimately, my duty as a person in this world is to be the best version of myself every time I step out of the door. As long as I accept me for me, nothing else can hinder me. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great day.